Well, these protests are taking place amidst a series of immigration measures by the Trump White House. Today, a new travel ban for citizens of 12 mainly Middle Eastern and African countries takes effect. And Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man wrongly deported to El Salvador, was returned to the U.S. to face federal criminal charges in Tennessee. Here to consider the implications of all of this, Jasmine Garz is NPR's immigration correspondent. She is here in New York. And Sui Chung is an immigration lawyer whose organization, Americans for Immigrant Justice, is filing lawsuits over the treatment of immigrants. And she joins us from Los Angeles. Sui, let me start with you. You aren't our reporter on the scene. You're an attorney, yet you are in the city where all of this action has taken place. And I'm just wondering what your perspective was as you've watched all of this unfold. The president really taken an unprecedented step, sending in the National Guard without the ask and cooperation of the governor, something we haven't seen since the 1960s. What do you make of all of this?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm with Americans for Immigrant Justice. We are based in Miami, Florida. I happen to be in Los Angeles at the moment, and seeing all of this unfold has been disturbing and frightening going forward. So I think we have to look at the context that we're in from the start of the administration, the undoing of elements such as our sensitive locations memorandums, where protections were there for medical care, for hospital access, for religious communities, for schools. So seeing this escalate in situations where we see that a lot of individuals being targeted right now are not the dangerous individuals that we were told would be targeted, those with violent criminal histories, those who are alleged terrorists, or other such language that's being used to target those that might be a danger to our community. We're looking at Track Reports has released that mid-May that it was 50,000 detained, and more than 40%, 43% of those have no criminal record, as well as the fact that some of those, even in addition to that, those being taken into custody have minor traffic violations. So we're seeing just a mass increase in detention, families, colleagues, business owners, individuals that really are members of our community, contributing to our community and pose no danger. So we're seeing this now bubble up that if immigration is going to go into restaurants, go to Home Depot and target individuals that are not dangerous to our community, the public is having a response to that.
And Jasmine, the protest broke out on Friday after we saw federal agents search the Garment District there for undocumented immigrants. There had been anger bubbling up. There had been reports of pressure on ICE agents and leaders from the president's top advisors, most notably Mr. Miller, as we know, that he has been asking for them to clamp down even more on arresting and going after Stephen Miller has been doing that, we should note, for going after undocumented immigrants here. Talk about the environment right now that we are in and the fact that this has transpired in California, of all states. We know that this administration has threatened as recently as last week to withhold federal funding for that state. There is personal animosity between President Trump and Gavin Newsom. So give us the context here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is an obsession with these numbers, right? Like you mentioned, Stephen Miller has said, they want to increase the number of arrests to 3,000 a day. And they're really going after this number of 1 million people deported in 1 year. And as your other guests noted, I mean, the goalposts keep moving, right? At first, it was, the undocumented with criminal offenses. We're going to go after the worst of the worst. And now suddenly what we're seeing is just that we're also going after kids on the way to volleyball practice, and we're interrupting restaurant hours. And, I think the American public, Los Angeles, while certainly where things have exploded the most fiercely, Los Angeles is not the only place where we've seen these spontaneous spontaneous protests. We've seen this happen in other parts of the country. And I think what's happening is that, the American public is saying, wait a minute, you told me that you were going to go after the worst of the worst, but suddenly my child's buddy is getting arrested on his way to volleyball practice.